Hey everybody, this is the Esoteric Cross. I make videos about how to gain your personal power while learning ancient secrets, and if that sounds like something that you're into, please hit the like button and subscribe and gain insight from this perspective in the cosmos. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about trauma, how it affects us and what we can do to heal from it. Sometimes things will happen to us that makes absolutely no sense and leaves us wondering why it happened. How could it have happened to us? How dare they? And we can spiral and get angry, depressed, or moody. It takes control of our consciousness. I talked in my video about alchemy, which you can watch if you click the top right corner of this video. I talked about how there are 4 stages in alchemy. We want to transform our consciousness and create the best lives that we can for ourselves. The first stage is called nigredo, or the blackening. This is about burning away the old parts and can be compared to the dark night of the soul. When I went through my own dark night, I experienced past traumas come up and certain things that I had forgotten until then. It was vital for my healing for me to remember the things that happened and to connect those to what was going on now. What was not vital for my healing and purification stage was ruminating on the traumas. Being angry, being a victim, sinking into depression, lashing out at the past perpetrators, that was not helping. But it was a completely normal reaction to remembering what happened. What really got me started on remembering these past traumas in the first place was that I was experiencing a lot of pain in my life. I had applied and interviewed for a job that I thought that I wanted, I didn't get it, and it made me feel worthless, and I had spiraled into a deep depression. I felt lonely for being single, and then I quit my job because it was sickening and it didn't pay me enough. I had no money and I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, and I thought I was going to have to move back home. And that's where I hit the core within myself. That's what I was really afraid of, moving home, because of the experiences that I had there. Then the floodgates opened and I started to remember everything that happened. This is where I realized that the traumas that I had experienced had a direct influence on me working in jobs that I did not like, accepting little pay, drinking and smoking to escape, looking for a partner that I didn't need, and living paycheck to paycheck. These are physical, literal manifestations of trauma, but we also need to look at the spiritual, metaphysical side of this. When we experience trauma, our consciousness fragments into pieces. This happens to all of us. We all experience something traumatic, even if it's not perceived to be something large. Our consciousness breaks down into parts, and we begin to dissociate. Some people, it happens so severely that these separated parts begin to make names for themselves and develop entire personalities. For most of us, they are smaller personalities that we perceive to still be us. But this is how we become chameleons, and we are different people in different environments. We dissociate from our bodies at times, and this makes us sort of like psychic instruments. This is why many people who have experienced bigger traumas may lead themselves into spirituality. It's because they have already tapped into the psychic part of themselves, and also they are looking for something to integrate these parts on a subconscious level. Sometimes these people look for it by joining something like the military, who gives structure and order, because that is ultimately what we're looking for, ordering the parts, organization. This is what led me to start doing the work to integrate my parts. Before diving deep into the issues that caused you so much anguish, we want to start small. If you experienced trauma in the past, then it is very likely that you are dealing with something at the moment that is extremely difficult, that may seem unrelated, like being in a job that you don't like. Before I quit my job, I made a list. Here I'm going to give you a technique. Open a notebook and on the left page label it what I hate about my job. For you, it may be something different than your job. It may be a relationship, it may be a living situation, it may be your health or your mental health, anything that you don't feel like is going right. On the left side of my page, I wrote things like, the money is not stable, I'm bored, too many emails. They put all of these apps on my phone for work. I feel pressure to sell things that I don't care about. I have whiny and complaining and difficult customers. On the right side of this page, write the direct opposite of those things. Label this page what I deserve or what I want. The opposite of the money not being stable is secure and stable money flow. The opposite of bored is inspired, excited, giving a contribution to the company. Opposite of too many emails is peace. Opposite of all the apps taking up all the space on my phone for work is that work stays at work, unless my job has to do with creative freedom. The opposite of feeling pressure to sell things that I don't care about is freedom, creative freedom, voicing my opinion, giving that contribution, maybe not selling anything. No quotas. And the opposite of dealing with whiny, complaining, difficult customers who wanted me to fix everything for them right now would be that if I work with customers, then I want them to be understanding of who and what we really are. So this would mean something more in a holistic spiritual field. Or maybe I don't want to deal with customers at all. So making this list will help you get your anger out of your system and give you a direction to head in. You might even want to make a third list of little steps that you might take to get out of where you are. I'm going to tell you what happened for me. I stuck it out in that bad job for 2 more weeks. And then I had a customer throw things at us and slamming the tables, cussing us out. And I said that this is it. I'm done. I don't recommend quitting on the spot with no backup if this is about a job, but this gave me an opportunity to find what I wanted. I meditated on the list of things that I deserve and that I want on the right page of that notebook. I brainstormed on what they could be, and I made a new resume showing the skills and jobs that reflected what it was that I wanted. I got into another job that seemed great, but it was centered around selling again. I found that this wasn't right for me within the second week and I quit, but I didn't stay down and I got right back up and kept going. I thought about the jobs that I could do that I wouldn't have to deal with customers, that I could have some freedom where work stays at work, feeling like I was contributing to the company without sabotaging myself. I figured that would be an office job instead of doing something like customer service. So I applied to several places and I researched the best companies to work for in my area, and I only applied to the best. I got hired at a job that was half remote and half in office. I don't have a boss looking over my shoulder. I have freedom. We do amazing get-togethers and social events at work. My role is vital to the team. The pay is what I want, and I have the option to work overtime, and I know that I can pay my bills, and I do not have to move back home. This is the power of organization and making lists and getting the disorganized, dysregulated thoughts that you might have out on paper. I swear by this. The next thing that I did was I started making the magic technique of shielding a regular thing for me to do every single day. Please check out my video on shielding. You can click the top right corner of this video to view that now. I'm giving you these techniques that I developed to help me through the toughest moments of my life because I feel like part of the reason that I went through them was to help other people. The traumas that we experience in life has a direct link to our purpose. Our suffering has a direct link to our purpose. I'll be making more videos soon just like this, giving more techniques. I didn't want to go too overboard with getting to the root of the trauma in this one because I know it can be a bit triggering, and I know once you open that can, it can be a hard one to close. We need to face this darkness so that we can turn our lives around. We need to get through the blackening stage in alchemy where we can burn away the old parts of us so that we may purify our consciousness and reach a stage of the new self being born. This is the true law of attraction, and these are practical tools that I'm giving you here to change your life. Make a list of what is going wrong, and then make a list of the direct opposite of those, and then practice shielding. Then meet me here for the next trauma alchemization video. If you would like spiritual coaching done by me, send me an email. My email is in the description of this video. I also have a link for my Discord down there. I'm working on videos now for my Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine series, as well as my Symbols series. If there's something that you want me to cover, just leave me a comment below. And I hope that there was something new that you were able to take away from this video. If so, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.